Hello everyone. LUKSO LYX, believe it or not, just reached all-time lows. And with that said, believe it or not, I am more bullish than ever on LYX. Now, while it may seem crazy for a lot of people to be bullish on something that just reached all-time lows, for me, this whole concept of universal profiles really stands out when it comes to LYX. But most importantly, why is that? Is it supply and demand? Is it the bigger picture, as I would always say? Stick around to the end of the outline. You're going to want to find out why I'm so bullish on this, especially when it just reached all-time lows a few hours ago. So without further ado, let's get into today's outline. Please smash the like if you haven't done so already. And I'm going to full screen this because you want to know something? Been a while since we talked about LUKSO LYX. So check us out. It says, straight from LUKSO, think of universal profiles as a digital passport for you, your organization, or even smart devices built on LUKSO's new standards. They have a wide range of functionalities and can store infinite data. Think about that for a second. You know, we talk about projects, Bitcoin and so on, and other ones out there about block sizes and wow, being able to do an incredible amount of data. Well, infinite, that sounds pretty bullish, but I'm not going to end it with just that. The concept of being able to have a profile to be as unique as old Maximus Crypto here, or as unique as you, whoever you are listening or driving down the road, but your universal profile, like it says, transcends traditional blockchain wallets by providing safe, flexible, and manageable and user-friendly smart profiles, whether you're holding assets, interacting with decentralized apps, etc., etc. Together with LUKSO's new standards, your universal profile ERC725 account is social by default and offers unexplored ways to connect to your community and interact, of course, with the world. Now, as we know, LUKSO is his own blockchain, and this particular guy, if you're new to this, has explained that LUKSO basically is like a fancier version of what? It's a fancier version of Ethereum. Listen to this. July 12th, a few weeks ago. You got to hear it for yourself. Be right back. Here we go.
The most important thing is actually you can manage it and you can change the way you manage it. So you can have multiple devices and different permissions and stuff like this. But really important is you need to be able to attach information, because if you can't attach information, then any kind of social thing is always kind of a hack, right? So now with universal profiles, you can attach information. That's not only profile information, but it's also information that's like relevant for a protocol. Somebody wants to invent, a follower system, reputation, or any kind of protocol that, needs somehow to store information on your account. They can now, right? They can literally ask the user to do that. You can react on anything, you can even automate the way you react. This will create a whole new way of, abilities of how you can automate anything. So your account can now basically automatically do stuff even if you're not there. Mm-hmm. React on tokens or protocols in whatever way you want to configure it. And you have the ability to extend it down the road should there be new features, missing or things that need to come. So all in all, it's a extremely versatile system. Mm-hmm. And every aspect of it is a standard. So it's literally built as a standard system.
That in itself sounds super cool to me. To me, that sounds high-tech. Things running in the background when I'm not even there, sign me up. But already am signed up. I'm going to take you to this next part. In the outline, you're going to see a little bit more. So that was Fabian Vogelsteller. Kind of like how the last part of his name says Stellar. And as you guys know, I cover, obviously, Stellar quite a bit. But, with the last update with Stellar, one of the main things that stood out was this new wallet and, of course, private keys. And when you see this outline in regards to LUKSO, it's going to talk about some of those things. But with LUKSO, from what I gather, there isn't anything else out there, currently speaking, that is doing universal profiles like to the magnitude of what they're doing. Say what you want, when certain things kick in, like, for example, the bull market, what about the ones that are the pioneers, the originators of this new technology, if you will? So I want you to see this for a second as well. We're going to get into this. Jake Prinz, who is the co-founder of Universal Page and the social marketplace launchpad for digital collectibles on Luxo and also Coinbase, he states, why universal profiles? Well, we're talking about it, and I love this statement. He says, up until this point, most Web3 applications were built around wallets. I just covered that recently with Stellar. A wallet is not much more than a private key and a public key. It can hold tokens but lacks functionalities to serve as a proper user account system. Plus, if the private key gets lost, you lose access to it forever. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not bullish on Stellar, but I can recognize some of these statements. As we get more into it, it says it's not very secure and definitely not a great foundation for building user-friendly apps. Well, again, it depends on the project and so on, but I get where he's going with this. He says that's why account abstraction is seen as the top priority for upgrading the user experience. I like these terms, user experience, because at the end of the day, if people are going to jump into this whole thing of Web3, shouldn't they have a better experience compared to the old traditional model? I mean, say what you want, yeah, you know, and it has to be user-friendly and fun, apparently, and, you know, give people reason to jump onto the new platform. So account abstraction means abstracting away the user's account, usually through, of course, smart contract-based accounts. Getting more into the outline, he goes on to mention this is where universal profiles come in, and basically they are on-chain profiles that offer account abstraction, but also a whole lot more. So what are they? Well, believe it or not, I'm actually going to read most of this because it all is good stuff, not worth skipping. Identity. It serves as a public profile that users fully control. You having full control over your profile instead of centralized entities? That sounds cool. They can customize it to their needs, build up on-chain reputation, and it can make any dApp more social by default. That sounds cool. People like the idea of something being easy. And this statement, for all the people that are like, man, I don't know about getting into Luxo, fancy Ethereum, Ethereum's garbage. ERC20, ugh, I hate it. Well, keep in mind, this is the guy, if you're new, who actually created the ERC20 smart contract. And by the way, that is still the most popular one out there. So just because we may not like it because of the gas fees and so on, guess what? This guy finally recognizes it, and I think he gets it. So to see this statement, gasless transactions, you read that right, you heard that right. Transaction relayers cover gas fees, making transactions for user cost-free and removing the hassle involved when onboarding in Web3. Okay, to me that doesn't even sound like Ethereum. I mean, I don't even know if I would want to even call this fancy Ethereum, but, you know, it is what it is. Gets more into talking about recovery options. Users can easily regain access using different types of recovery systems such as email, social recovery, or wallet. I mean, those are all the basic functionalities of the old traditional system. So people aren't having to jump through hoops, right? How about this? Multi-control. These profiles can have multiple controllers, meaning they can use the profile through browser extension, mobile app, smart wallet, or just email and password. I mean, I saw an example on Google Chrome. You could test it out for yourself. So there is a couple I will skip down, but I like this statement once again about infinite data storage. Universal Profile has its own on-chain data store. It can be used for profile information to list which assets it has created or to adapt to any future standards that leverage this storage. Keep in mind, Fabian here that you saw in the video, he created his own standard with Luxo. I like that. Who do we know has the same thing in common? Well, Gilbert Verdi and Quant. So, you know, smart people say what you want. Always listen to what they have to say, and most importantly, what they have to offer through what they invent, whether it's standards or whether it's, you know, creating a mechanism that nobody else has. All right, I like that. Flexible universal profiles can react to, incoming assets. Could allow the option to revert or, can't even talk, on certain incoming assets or add any custom logic, like for example sending spam tokens directly to a vault. Remember, and I think the first deep dive we did about this, saying that only particular things are supposed to be put on chain will be put on chain. Anything that's garbage won't get basically use. So it's, valuing data and not just putting anything and everything out there for it just takes up space. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's the first deep dive I did. But universal profiles can improve blockchain apps, onboarding, and user experience. It's like a new way of doing things on Web3, and some applications like Universal Page have already embraced it. So Universal Page, what exactly is this? All right, so I'm going to go over to here. Here's their X. It says it's a social platform for digital art and on-chain collectibles. No gas fees, no hassle. Not a huge following, but again, understand this, guys. This, like it says, live on Luxo and soon on Base. What have we seen recently when it comes to Base? What have we seen, especially when it comes to Solana projects and so on? Guys, I'm telling you flat out, I don't have to put it in writing for it. You already know what ones blasted off when it came to recognizing supply and demand. Supply and demand forces will always be a thing, and just because this project's down, will it be the rising star out of nowhere? I think it very well could, and that's why I'm personally invested in it as well. And just because the price is at all-time lows right now, I look at it as opportunity, not financial advice, but do what you got to do and look more into it if this is something that you feel as though, wow, interesting. Well, I'm not going to end there. I want to jump into this part. And like it says right here, when you go over to here, it talks about, specifically speaking, Universal Page is now live for everyone. It's time for the next generation NFTs. Come and join the new creative economy on Luxo. Yes, that's right, Luxo. I will play this part, and I'll have it muted. The bottom line is what you see right here. Universal Page profiles, ownership, NFTs, collectibles. Enter the new creative economy, the future of Web3, accessible for everyone, of course, on Luxo. And of course, I guess expanding over to Base. I mean, that's cool stuff. So we kind of have an idea, right? No more gas fees. That's the biggest part. These are all appealing things to see, basically. Full account abstraction, like it mentioned in the outline. Mint some of these things and do it with your universal profile. I think that's a big deal. NFT storefront, build on-chain reputation, NFTs 2.0 launchpad. Again, NFTs 2.0. Maybe that's the key takeaway we should have from this. All right, I'm going to pull you over to here. Let's take you into this. This is universal.page. Why am I taking you over here? Well, basically speaking, the social marketplace for on-chain collectibles. New era of Web3. Again, user-friendly, gasless, and rich in creative possibilities. So we talked about some of this stuff, but more importantly is my key thing. You guys always hear me say this all the time. Do we have examples of utility of motion? Or is this just a big marketplace that nobody uses? Guess what? The answer is wrong. People do use this, and we do have a little bit of utility in motion. What happens when we get mass adoption? Could this platform, Luxo, this marketplace, become the next big thing? And what I mean by that is, if you guys are familiar, especially with the last bull market, the concepts of these exchanges had ties to OpenSea, and these exchanges did a lot of minting of, or this particular project, a meme coin, for example, did a lot of minting of NFTs and so on. Well, guess what? A lot of those NFTs from a few months ago on, what was it, NPR and other outlets, don't shoot the messenger on NPR. I'm just saying. Heard on the radio. I'll show you some citations. 90 to 95% of all NFTs are basically worthless. My thing is this, why is that? Let's talk about why that is. Let's jump into this for a moment. This is good stuff. I'm going to take you over to here because, for one, it's understanding who will have value, right, at the end of the day. So this NFT marketplace that's connected to Luxo, Discover Collections, Digital Art, how it says NFT 2.0, because that 1.0 was the old school OpenSea and so on, and again, 95% of those are not even worth anything. Build your branded NFT store if you choose to do so. But when you jump further down into this, it talks about how you could customize all this, which is cool, don't get me wrong, but what's more important is understanding this marketplace, because in this marketplace, look what we have. We have examples of utility motion. What? The LYX coin. And more importantly, there has been sales on this. And what does this remind you of? Yeah, like OpenSea, but a different OpenSea. A 2.0 version of OpenSea and connected LYX. Wow, sign me up. Boom, already been involved in this for a while, but haven't done a video on this for a while, right? So I know I sound excited about this and so on. I'm not trying to create excitement. I'm just excited to see stuff like this because for me, I realize the bigger picture, and hopefully you guys recognize the bigger picture. But I mean, again, the list of prices, again, has any stuff sold? Yes, there's been sales, there's been, some of the supply, and they'll constantly see the LYX token in regards to some of this. Hey, guess what? That is very, very cool. Some of these are very cheap in price, some of them are more expensive. But the point is, universal profiles, front row center, you see it right there. And again, you see some other people like, this guy, Helmet, 3D artist, animation, VFX, 3D design. You even have people, of course, connected to the universal page. But what happens if this becomes, like we talk about Web3, what if this platform becomes NFT 2.0 marketplace? That's what I'm talking about, and that's why I'm so bullish. I'm shocked to see that the price of LYX is actually at all-time lows. Well, wow, what an opportunity, right? So let me take you to this next part. We're almost roughly about 75% done. I know I get criticism about going too long. Hey, it is what it is, but remember how we talked about OpenSea? Check this out. This is really good stuff. Again, smash that like if you haven't done so already. Share the content with other people. There's opportunities out there if you're willing to take a deeper dive into it, right? So look at this. This is from Jake Prinz, that guy I was talking about earlier. And I love this example he makes. Why on-chain verification matters. Did you know, like he says, that over 80% of assets created on OpenSea were fake collections or fraud? Blockchains were supposed to be a solution for verifying digital assets, but in reality, it's mainly the centralized platforms that verify NFTs. Did I just say that at the beginning of the outline? Boom, yes they did. One problem is that NFT contracts don't have any information on chain about the creators. Only the wallet address, the smart contract, the owner, public key, etc., etc. A random set of characters that do not say much about who is behind it or why they're behind it. The information about the collection itself can also be managed in marketplaces and not on chain. Think about that. This is why LYX stands out. Okay, to fully utilize blockchain's potential, we must embrace new standards, and we already have a standard made by, of course, Fabian. He talked about that. Check out that first deep dive video. I'll put it at the end of this video for you to see it. You want to watch it if you want to understand more about this particular coin, this particular blockchain. So we could start adopting ERC 7251 standard. 5Y standard, which allows on-chain data storage, but infinite storage, that's bullish. This could be used for information about the collection, but more importantly, to reference the creators. Okay, and if those references don't use the address of key-based wallets, but universal profiles, with them, we can get somewhere. A little bit more about this. I don't read it verbatim, but again, I think a lot of people don't understand this. So, universal profiles, on-chain profile that extends ERC 725Y standards, which means it also has the on-chain data storage. There's standard for referencing which assets that the profile is issued. When the profile references the issued assets and the assets references in the profile, we have a two-way on-chain verification. And everything you saw from the marketplace, and then also seeing verification through what the LYX coin. You guys want examples of will it use the utility of the coin that you're invested in? You already saw that proof. With the implementations of on-chain verification, we can now truly authenticate digital assets. How many different ones, right? I mean, it could be anything and everything, not just NFTs. Think about that for a second. Any platform could verify them. Literally just said that. Creators can build on-chain reputation. Universal Page is ready leveraging this, making it easier to detect fraud. Could Universal Page be the next big thing for what? Taking it to NFT 2.0. This is huge. I don't know why more enough people are talking about this. You guys want to talk about your hidden gems. There is huge potential in this. As you might know, a blockchain is like a public ledger. We know this, that keeps track of who owns what, right? Without the need for a middleman. However, we need more information on-chain to fully leverage it. It can be a perfect tool for creators to build up on-chain reputation and prove the authenticity of the digital assets they create. Isn't that the bottom line? Now, I'm going to show why this is so important, especially connected to the whole thing of smart contracts. So what I want to talk about for a brief moment is this, okay? I have some notes for you guys. So basically it's like this. We just talked about the whole thing of universal profiles, right? But at the end of the day, like, what really stands out? Why are they so freaking important, right? Well, it's a game changer for this Web3 ecosystem. It's a game changer from taking NFT 1.0 to 2.0, right? They address fundamental issues that have hindered mass adoption. Think about that. Hindered mass adoption. Now you have a plug. Now you have a connect to a better form of mass adoption for NFTs, because guess what? Instead of buying worthless NFTs of the past on the 1.0 system, you take it to the next level, kind of like with Web 1. Are you still using AOL on Web 1? Probably not, right? I mean, you think about this, you would be here forever listening to me and glitching out and so on. So we're taking it to the next level with NFT 2.0 marketplace. This is a big, big deal in my opinion. And three things I want to talk about in regards to getting to this, over this hurdle of mass adoption. So basically what happened before was a complex user experience. By abstracting away the complexities of wallets, transactions, universal profiles in itself could create a more intuitive and user-friendly interface. Well, is there security concerns? Absolutely. Everything has security concerns, but listen to this. The ability to recover accounts through multiple methods significantly reduces the risk of losing access, of course, to digital assets. Okay, cool. Less risk means more trust. And last I checked, we need a lot more trust in this space, especially to get to mass adoption. So that creates more of that supply and demand. Number three, what about the whole concept of limited functionality? Well, yeah. Unlike traditional wallets, universal profiles offer a rich set of features, including identity management, of course, data storage, infinite storage in this case, and flexible permissions. Now, what about the whole concept of the importance for like LYX, the LUKSO coin? Well, at the end of the day, LUKSO in itself has positioned itself as a pioneer in the universal profile space. I apologize, there's some construction going on. By building its technology into this core infrastructure, LUKSO is establishing a competitive advantage. Think about that for a second. Why is that crucial? Well, LUKSO is ahead of the curve in offering a superior user experience, which can attract developers and users, of course, to its platform. But most importantly, it's creating a new economic system. With universal profiles as its foundation, LUKSO can foster development in a wide range of decentralized applications and services. Again, dApps are the enablers. They always have been. On top of that, increasing the utility of LYX as the native coin, I should say, of the LYX LUKSO ecosystem. LYX will be essential for creating and managing those universal profiles, as well as interacting with, of course, the apps that they build on the platform. It's a win-win. So I'm going to take you over to this part right now. And if anything, I'll try to see what's going on with that construction. I'll be right back. And when you see me back, we'll clear some of this stuff out. Okay, I'm going to take you on over to here. And basically speaking, this is reference from what I was kind of talking about before. All right, so check this out. This is from a site called cartoonbrew.com. NFTs value. Are NFTs worthless? Right? So let's talk about that for a second. So it talks about, what does it say? Supply but no demand. Think about that for a second. For the majority of the collections monitored by the study, NFT supply vastly outpaced demand. Only 20% of the collections examined for the study had full ownership, meaning the other 79% had unsold assets. Think about this for a second. The study argues that the surplus created by oversupplying has created a buyer's market, where a smaller pool of would-be investors are being more careful than ever when evaluating potential purchases. As a result, projects that lack clear use cases, compelling narratives, or genuine artistic value finding it increasingly difficult to attract attention and sales, according to this guy named Hategan. Now look at this. Ownership percentage of current NFT collections. Number of partially and fully owned NFTs. Only 20% NFTs have full ownership. Understand the bigger picture for LYX, and especially this marketplace that they're connected to. It says it's lonely at the top. Narrowing the focus of the study, DAP Gamble also looked at only the most popular NFT collections and still struggles to find value in the tokens. Of the popular collections monitored by the group, 18% had a value of $0, and the average price of an individual token was between $5 to $100. Less than 1% were listed at $6,000 or more. The study was also careful to point out that those higher prices could be set without any bearing or tangible real demand. What the NFTs are actually worth could be far less than what the holders are, of course, listing them for. So at the end of the day, we have all learned a lesson, right? And this guy, who's Hedgen, concluded this dawning reality should serve as a sobering check on the euphoria that has often surrounded the NFT space. Amid stories of digital art pieces selling for millions and overnight success stories, it is easy to overlook the fact that the market is fraught with pitfalls and potential losses. He advised that anyone looking to play the NFT game, and listen to this part, should focus only on tokens or coins that have a utilitarian use. Think about that. It gets better. Like video game assets. Remember I talked about this in Quant, if you pay attention to that coverage? It says token gated access to events, content, or services. Content? Think about that. We just talked about that, right? About content. And this last part, here's your icing on the cake. Digital ID verification. To focus on that, LYX is right there. Boom. Awesome. Great to share that, basically. So I want to just share the last remainder of my notes real quick. And basically it's like this, guys. I want you to think about this. So at the end of the day, which crypto exchanges, as we know, thrived when NFTs were a hot thing in the last bull run? Some of you guys already have the answer in regards to 2021. Well, you got to keep in mind the leading exchanges, especially the marketplaces, obviously, OpenSea. There's another one called Rarible. There's called Super Rare. But as far as general purpose exchanges with a strong NFT presence, well, of course, Binance is going to be at the head of the pack. While primarily a cryptocurrency exchange, Binance also embraced, as we know, NFTs and provided a platform for trading various digital assets. Coinbase, I have some NFTs on Coinbase, but similar to Binance, Coinbase did this thing. But the factors for success, why did those platforms all of a sudden have a big, huge demand for NFTs? Well, because NFTs was a new thing, and Ethereum really hopped on that, right? So all of, like, you know, Mark Cuban, his reference of he loves Ethereum because of those gas fees. Well, expensive gas fees, granted, right? But supply and demand forces kicked in. The utility of, right, Ethereum, ERC20, those gas fees, minting all those NFTs, it costs a lot of money, but that was utility in motion. Very expensive utility in motion. So now you have LUKSO. Now you have a platform, basically speaking, in which it will be gas-less. Wow. And we have this thing of taking it from NFT 1.0 to NFT 2.0. Wow. So my thing is this. Those exchanges saw the supply and demand forces kick in dramatically, right? And as a result, we saw some very huge things happen. Ethereum blew up. Solana even blew up, right? Solana's still doing great as we speak. But what about supply and demand forces kicking in for things like LYX? So keep in mind is this. Early adoption. Those exchanges were quick to recognize the potential of NFTs and invested in building dedicated platforms or features. What do we see when it comes to LUKSO? What about user experience? User-friendly interfaces and smooth trading experiences were crucial for attracting, of course, a wider user base. What is LYX doing as we speak? Pretty much the same thing. You've seen the interviews from Fabian. You've seen the other ones from basically this guy, Jake Prinz. And then on top of that, what about having a variety of NFTs? But more importantly, ones with actual use case. You know? Well, by offering a diverse range of NFTs from art to collectibles to gaming items, that definitely helped to cater to different preferences. But the point was this. You saw communities come together because you had marketing, you had community building, whether it was meme coins, etc., etc. But strong marketing campaigns and fostering a vibrant community around NFTs contributed, of course, to their success. But my key thing is, I want you to see this, and that is this. Basically speaking, here's LUKSO. And why is this so important? Because a few hours ago, it hit all-time lows. But unlike Ethereum, with billions of coins or tokens and so on, you only have 30,535,907 LYX. And basically speaking, we talked about this, that is a huge difference compared to what we saw before. And the total supply is 42 million. So, I mean, again, like most of this is already circulating. So that's crucial for understanding. And on top of that, here it is on the stats. All-time highs was January 16th, 2024, only 6 months ago. Again, some people still felt as though that we were in a bearish time. All right? It's down 85% since then, but 17 hours ago, it went down to $1.63. What an opportunity for all of us to recognize LUKSO. And if you're wanting to get this, there's various markets you can get on. I basically get it through Uphold. The only thing I don't like is you don't get a real true wallet from there. But, you know, Crypto.com has it, which is cool. If you're outside the United States, KuCoin. And basically speaking, these other ones I never heard of. So the ones that stood out for me, KuCoin, MEXC, I forgot to mention MEXC, of course, Crypto.com. And, you know, US and UK would definitely be Uphold. So there you go. There you have it. Glad to share LYX again. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I know that was a little bit more of a detailed outline, but I wanted to get into the nitty-gritty of what I feel was important for this outline. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. Say goodbye to complicated setups and hello to Decent Wallet, the hassle-free solution to your digital currency needs. With just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.